Alright, we will continue with taking derivative. We have learned how to take derivative of regular functions, we take derivative of trig functions, and today we looked at natural log. And that's the one thing that, if you recall, the general power rule, which is x to the n, which is, for example, x to the fifth. If you take the integral, that means 5 plus 1 divided by 5 plus 1 plus c. And that's a very important disclaimer because it does not apply when n is negative 1. For example, if I have x to the negative 1, right, the integral, if I do this, x negative 1 plus 1, which is mean 0, which I cannot divide by 0. That is undefined. That's what tells us if we have the integral of 1 over x, which is x to the negative 1, we cannot do the antiderivative for this reason, because if you look at this, again, the power is divided by 0, which is not worked in. So the answer turned out to be a log problems. So that is what we're going to focus for this unit. Unit 5, that we're going to talk about e to the x, natural logs, and all of the fun function that you would love to see. Okay. All right. So if we looked at, let's recall, natural logs is the integral of 1 to the x, 1 over t dt. So this is, recall, this is the second fundamental theorem of calculus. Okay, so remember, when I have this integral 1x 1 to the t dt, which is the same as 1 over x times the derivative of x, which is 1, right? So this is the natural log that we talked about. The antiderivative would be natural logs. And we can look at, for now, I just want you to think of this as, it's not a regular function. If you see 1 to the x, normally we would bring it up and plus the power, but this is not. This is the special function that you want to pay attention to. So whenever you see 1 over x, that's a special function that we need to look at. And we look at the graph. We will talk more about the graph when Ms. Cohn and I come back on Thursday. So we're both out today. So hopefully this will help you to take notes and do some practice in class. And we'll take questions through Edmodo, or you can send us an email or when we come back, okay? All right, so we know, you've got to know the graph, which is natural log, which that's the graph, right? And then we can take a look at several property of logs, which you learn in pre-cal. Okay, so we learned that the derivative of natural log is 1 over x. The chain rule version, which is, again, 1 over x times the derivative of that function. So, also we can look at several properties, right? Natural log of 1 is 0. These are important for you. You gotta remember this. It's like the trig functions, the derivative of trig functions. You have to know what is the derivative of sinus, right? So over here, you gotta know natural log of 1 is 0. When we multiply, it's the same as you add the two together. Or the 1 to the power, you bring it down, turn into the coefficient. Division is the same as subtraction. So this is important. Make a star. Must know this. Okay, you have to know this. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. For this chapter, you will not be able to take derivative or antiderivative because these are the special rules that we need to rewrite our function, and we're going to apply these rules. So got to remember this, all right? So again, let's review. The derivative of natural log is 1 over x, okay? The example 1 that we have here is, right now, we're just going to review these rules. So this is division, so it's the same thing as natural log of 10 minus natural log of 9, because that's division, right? over here, if I rewrite this, for example, 1b, I can rewrite this 3x plus 2, 1 to the second power, right? Because that's a radical. We also look back, the one with the power, we can bring the power to the front. So 1/2 natural log of 3x plus 2. Alright, so let's take a look at the next example that we're going to look at. C. Okay, so if you look at this one, which property though do we recognize? Natural log 6 of x over 5. So what I see is division. So we know division is the same thing as subtraction. So natural log of 6x minus natural log of 5. Also, this is a special because if you look at this one, I see product. So I can rewrite this. The product is the same thing as addition. So this can be natural log of 6 plus natural log of x minus natural log of 5. Okay? Alright. The next one is a little bit challenged. So there's a couple of things that I need to rewrite first. So I look at this. I recognize that this is we need to look at the most obvious property first, and then once we rewrite that, then we can start look at the what inside. So think about this like a chain rule, right? So the most obvious one I see is division. So I would rewrite this as subtraction. So x squared plus 3 to the second power minus x. I'm going to rewrite the radical so later on I don't have to. So x squared plus 1 to 1 over 3. Okay, so that's, now, so we see this is division, and now we're going to come back and start breaking one by one. So I'm looking at the first one. I see the power rule. So I see the power, so I'm going to bring in the power, which is 2 natural log of x squared plus 3. Okay. Also over here, I see the I'm missing one thing here, should be natural log. I missed that. So right here I can see the product, which is the same thing at, see this is the product of these two. Okay, let me erase this so you can see it a bit better. Okay, minus natural log of x. So I see this is the product, right? So I'm going to rewrite this as addition rule. So natural log of x plus natural log of x squared plus 1 to the third power. Okay. So again, like I said, we're going to break it down one by one, and we'll see, and then we'll start going from there. And just ask ourselves, can we continue to rewrite this? Is there a property that I should pay attention to? If we like, no, there's nothing, then we can stop. But if there's something else that we can do, then we're going to continue to rewrite until we're done. All right, so I'm gonna use this space over here, so it's enough space. So I'm gonna look at this. Okay, when I look at this one, I see that it's okay. There's nothing else I can do. So 2 natural log of x squared plus 3. This is addition. So if we're going to rewrite, it's going to turn back into multiplication, which is not, this is not addition, right? So we can just leave this minus this one right here, natural log, which is okay. We don't have to worry about that. I'm going to make sure that I distribute the negative in here. So this is going to minus, okay, this is the 1. I see the power, so I'm going to bring down 1 over 3, natural log of x squared plus 1. And let's look at this. I see that's about it. There's nothing else that I can rewrite, so I can just stop for this one. Okay, I would like you to practice on the practice sheet. So just so that you understand or you remember the property, because these are pre-cal these are the pre-cal skill that we need you to know. So let's practice problems 19 to 24. Okay, I will leave so 19 to 24. So this is example 1. All right. So after you're done with the practice, you may want to click on the video of example 2, and that's the one that we start look at derivative.